Well, first of all, welcome to the first in my new series of revamped persona between the sheets. You're seeing the rest of this video. I created Between the Sheets about 25 years ago, and I used it, didn't use it, but I've noticed recently 2 or 3 presenters have started using that name, and I thought, well, let me bring you back to the original. So welcome to Between the Sheets, excellent since 2000 with me, Duncan Williamson. Welcome to part 2 now of this video, using GROUPBY and PIVOTBY to analyze some data. As you might have seen in part 1 of this series, here's the data by product group, by subcategory, by order date, sales amount, and total product cost. I would like to get some meaning out of the data. After all, imagine we're in business and we want to make decisions. We want to understand what's happening in our company. Can we tell profitability? Can we tell the trends in sales? The strong products, the weak products? Can we tell all of that? The answer must be yes. One way to help is to group our data, which we didn't do in part 1, by product, by month, maybe even by day, by year, and by subcategory. And that's what I'm going to do now. Initially, we're using a new function, GROUPBY, and here's all we do. In one cell equals GROUPBY, open bracket, then you're telling it the row fields, these are the row fields, in this case, the product group, product. Then you tell it the values, and in my case, the values are these 2 columns here. There are no other values in this table. So we're going to analyze sales amount, total product cost, D and E. We then are invited to use the function, sum, average, count A, percent of, many options that we could use. I'm interested in adding all the data together. I want to see the total amount sold for the smartwatch, for the desktop, for headphones, for all 8 categories. And I need to know the same from total product cost. And I put them in one table. That's it. That's all I have to do. Group by, and we get that nice looking table. Let me skip this table for a second. Let's go down to the subcategory table. Same again, equals GROUPBY. But now I've chosen column B for the row fields because I want to analyze by accessories, by electronics, and by gadgets, by sales amount, and by total product cost. And again, this time I've chosen average. If I want to see the sum, I just type sum. And I've now added those together so I can be consistent with this table. And if I select all of those, it tells me the total is 202,848. 202,848, the same. Feel free to change it back to average. Feel free to have another table for average, yet another table for percent of, another table for count, and so on. Or do what I've just been doing, click, click, change the aggregation there to one of the other ones, and keep that table as it is without creating any other table. In terms of the month, there's something a bit interesting there. Let's have a look at it. In this case, order date is a date, a full date, day, month, year. And I only want to bring out the month values. So I did this. With this table, with this selection, the row fields are the dates. But if I use dates, it won't do what I want because I want to do it by month. So first of all, I'll start with if error, then month, then column C, and then if error, there will be an error because of the way that the group by works, but I can overcome the error of name or something like that by telling it, if there's an error in this column, the heading of month, just make it say month. And it does. And then the rest is the same. The values, columns D and E. It's a sum again. And then comma 3, I didn't mention. Comma 3 says, show me all the headers. And 0 tells me, don't include any totals. You might want to include totals. Work out how to do that. And there we are. I've now got 3. You've seen 4 really smart tables governed by a function, group by. Suppose you want to talk about product and product group in the same table. Could you do it in group by? Try it. I always say, if in doubt, try it. What I mean is, try this. A, B. It will do it. Is it the one you want? Maybe. There's all the cameras. There's the desktop. There's the headphones. And there's the subcategories. I find that a little bit messy. Because of that, you might not find that messy. You might even do something a little bit different, something better. But what I want to show here is 2 things. Number 1, the graph now. You can see when I clicked on this line graph, I've now got this table highlighted so that we now know by product group what our sales are, by product group, and what our total product costs are by product group. And they're, remember correlation coefficient 0.9492? You can see they're following each other because of that correlation coefficient being so high. It starts to diverge here a little bit, and diverge here a little bit. But generally, that's a very tidy chart compared to them, which are a bit busy. The same with this one. Analysis of product by month. There we are. January, December, April's a bad month. November's not so hot. And June is a little bit depressed. And now we know. By month, by sum. Analysis by subcategory. Subcategory, sales, total product cost. That's group by, that's charts and graphs coming from there. How about this now? For the first time, pivot by. All of the data you see in the top left-hand corner, I've dealt with it this way. Pivot by, very similar to group by. Here's the syntax. The row fields, again I'm concentrating on product, row A, column A. I've got the if error issue again, because I'd like to see these month numbers across the top. And then I've got my values, column D only, sum, all headers, no totals. There's a total at the end there only. And there we are, look. By product, by sales amount only, by month. There you are, January, no smartwatch sales at all. There's April. Remember we said April's a bad month? May not so hot either, but maybe the total's a lot higher. And November the same. So here we are then, subcategory, by month, month number. But this, by the way, it's not, as you can see, it's not sales amount values, product cost values. Let's see what it is. It's percent of. Nothing wrong with that, but I don't want it. I'll put it back to values now, but notice I'd formatted those as percentages, so I need to put that back to here. There's some, do we have any decimals? Seems to be. And there we are. They are pivot by, Pivot tables, without a pivot table, they're infinitely variable. Nothing wrong with pivot tables, by the way. In fact, a lot right with them. But I've homed in on my pivot table. This is what I want, and I'd like it to be exactly how I want. So that's what I've done. Well, there we are. Between the sheets, excellence since 2000 with me, Duncan Williamson, GROUPBY, PIVOTBY. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.